Well, a little bit of a sad day. A little bit of a sad day indeed. We get some injury news. Kurtis MacDermid is traded. Lots to discuss here. Oh, welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the injury woes for our beloved New Jersey Devils continue. Oh, my friends, we could not stay healthy no matter what. It is just, there is an injury cloud looming over the organization. It's super unfortunate. I don't know what could be done. I don't know that there's anything that could be done. But to rewind a little bit, two of our most exciting prospects who are going to come to camp and look to have a big preseason to try to make a push to make the roster, both Lenni Hameenaho and Shane Lachance injured in the Prospects Challenge in Buffalo. They missed most of camp. They basically miss the majority of the preseason. They both played the other night. Who really knows if they're fully healthy or not, but definitely hindered their chances to make a push to get on this roster. And then we find out on the first day of training camp that Stefan Noesen had an offseason procedure to correct something, and he's going to be out for some period of time. Then Seamus Casey gets some kind of injury in the past week or so. And then last night, Pesce injured. And super unfortunate. Pesce is a huge part of the defense. And while we do have beautiful, beautiful defensive depth at the moment, thanks to Fitzy just stockpiling NHL caliber defensemen, it is just, it's completely troubling. Completely troubling. And these aren't the guys that everyone's keeping an eye on and hoping they don't get hurt. Not the usual suspects. A quick kind of recap, courtesy of Sam Kassan on X. Follow him if you're not. He works for the team, and he's always reporting with the rest of the usual suspects. Per head coach Keefe, Lukehughes will not play tomorrow at Philly. Okay, so I guess we're not going to see Luke at all in preseason. It has nothing to do with injury, but he must be trying to get back into game shape and all that, so they're going to ease him into things. We will see him on opening night. But won't see Casey back on skates in the near future. Like, what? We won't see Seamus Casey back. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Pesce skating later today, continuing to be evaluated to be determined on his availability for season opener. So now we're down Seamus Casey. Pesce doesn't come out for the third period last night, and it seems as though there is a chance that Pesce's not ready for opening night. I mean, unbelievable stuff. One of our better overall veteran defensemen injured and not available at the moment. And then Noesen not close yet to playing despite him being at practice. Noesen not yet ready. And Lammikko, who was aspiring to be the 4C, out for near future. Lammikko out for the near future. So Casey still hurt, Pesce hurt, Noesen not fully recovered yet, Lammikko out for the near future. What an epic disaster. What an epic disaster for the New Jersey Devils, picking up right where they left off last season with injuries. Injuries all over the place. It's super unfortunate. At this point, I mean, it's like a bad joke. This team cannot stay healthy. And it's on an unfortunate part of the sport. Every team deals with injuries, but this team has been certainly plagued beyond anything remotely normal. And so, what a disaster. Hopefully now this could be either an opportunity for Tobias Villain, who's played some preseason, or potentially Edwards. I don't think we know as of yet. We'll be curious to see what the game lineups are for tomorrow afternoon in Philadelphia, 12:30 start. You know your boy will be back with the post-game live. Very pumped up for that. The curtain call, if you will, on the preseason before the boys get ready for the opener in Raleigh on the 9th. And then the news of the day. Oh, a lot of us expected this to be coming rather soon. This man was kind of looked at when everyone was saying, oh, we got to get cap compliant, blah, blah, blah. And there it is. Devils acquire MacEwen from Ottawa. The New Jersey Devils announced that the team has acquired forward Zack MacEwen in a trade with the Ottawa Senators in exchange for forward Kurtis MacDermid. The announcement was made by President General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. MacEwen, 29, split last season with Ottawa and Belleville in the AHL. In 21 NHL games last season, he scored 2 goals and 1 assist with 21 penalty minutes. In 23 AHL games, he registered 7 goals and 9 assists for 16 points with 29 penalty minutes. He is a big boy, 6'4", 225, has played in 237 career regular NHL regular season games over 7 seasons, scoring 34 points while accumulating 323 penalty minutes. I'm not going to read the rest here, but excuse me, messed up there. It is a bittersweet day. As you guys know, I love Kurtis MacDermid. He was the epitome of heavier, edgier, more violent. Kurtis MacDermid was the poster child, the face, the absolute face of the heavier, edgier, more violent movement. I will forever appreciate Kurtis MacDermid's time here, despite what many people say or think about him. Kurtis MacDermid came at a time when our team was physically and emotionally broken. Let me repeat that. Kurtis MacDermid came at a time where your New Jersey Devils, our New Jersey Devils, were physically, emotionally, and physically broken. Everyone remembers in that 23-24 season, the Rangers, Rempe just running a ruckus, smashing Siegenthaler to the ground. First, he actually smashed Bastian. Smashes Bastian. Bastian's bloodied on the ice. One of the horrific images I'll never get out of my mind from that season of Bastian just laying there. Then there's a photo of him sitting up with the blood coming out of his mouth. I mean, I actually think I have it here. Let me see. It's really sad, but you can't forget what really was happening before MacDermid got here. The Devils were getting battered. No one was doing anything, and it was quite sad, quite frankly. I'm not even going to pull it up. It's going to make me sick. But he smashes Bastian. Bastian's in a bloody heap. Then Siegenthaler comes over like he's going to do something. Rempe pummels him. Absolute just disaster. Then in the next game, I think we got MacDermid before the next matchup, and then Rempe ran for the hills after elbowing Siegenthaler in the head. I mean, this guy was just doing whatever he wanted. No one did a damn thing. And I will forever be grateful for Kurtis MacDermid's, his injection of just absolute testosterone overload into the roster. Before we get to that beautiful Ranger 5-on-5, we just look at his fight card, and it's a shame. He only had 7 bouts during his time here. The first one was March 16th, 24. He fought Brown on the Arizona Coyotes. Decisive win for MacDermid. He fought Kastelich a week later against Ottawa. Then obviously the biggest and most famous one, April 3rd, in that beautiful 5-on-5 scrap at puck drop. Rempe finally answered the bell. MacDermid fights Amama against Ottawa a couple days later. He's off until the next season. He fights Mayfield, Johnston against the Ducks, and then Gadjevich. Hockeyfights.com is where I pulled this little fight card from. Per hockeyfights.com voters, MacDermid is a perfect 7-0 in these bouts. 7-0. I think there was 1 or 2 that could have been a draw, but Kurtis MacDermid, one of the toughest men in the National, if not the toughest, and he went to war for your New Jersey Devils, wearing the Devils jersey 7 times, and was 7-0 or maybe 6-0-1, depending. But if you just go by the hockeyfights.com voters, he's a perfect 7-0. Wish we could have seen it some more. Oh, wait, we got some. Collect Records. Thank you very much, sir. Shout out to Big Mac. He put that goober Rempe in his place and will always have my respect for looking out for the boys. Thank you very much, Collect Records. Couldn't agree more. We were just down bad before he got here, and I do feel like that Ranger game with the 5-on-5 brawl was kind of like the first time the team kind of stood in there together and showed the first signs of life after just getting battered all season. And I will never forget it. That's a great regular season moment in New Jersey Devils history, hands down. Despite the season being tragic, I mean, a 5-on-5 opening face-off brawl, Devils Rangers, Hudson River. That's always a tongue twister. Hudson River rivalry. My God, say that 10 times fast. Hudson River rivalry. Hudson River rivalry. Kind of reignited it. Rempe and MacDermid. But thank you very much, Collect Records. Much appreciated. And just to look at some of the beautiful images from that fight. I mean, wow. Kurtis MacDermid, the toughest man in the National, just chucking him with Rempe at center ice. All the other Devils on the ice squared up with somebody. MacDermid was the 5th and final remaining guy from that melee on the roster. John Marino got dummied by Keandre Miller. Marino's obviously gone. Kevin Ball fought somebody. Tierney fought somebody. Lazar fought somebody. Who did I forget? Ball, Lazar, Marino, Tierney, McDermott. Those are the 5 combatants. But, I mean, this just never gets old. I was so fired up after this. Some of you remember my Ranger fan friend Chris was over. And once we heard pregame that McDermott and Rempe were in the starting lineups, we were super jacked. We had pizzas coming, beers, and we were both just going ballistic. I mean, what an absolute amazing start to a hockey game. Oh, look at Rempe's face all contorted there. Unbelievable stuff. I will never forget Kurtis MacDermid. You guys know I am an old school throwback kind of fan. I certainly appreciate the fisticuffs. I certainly appreciate the heavyweights that are willing to put their bodies on the line and just throw absolute hammers on the NHL ice. And my God, MacDermid is one of the biggest and scariest men I've seen in quite some time, quite frankly. And he will forever be a legend in my book. Sad to see him go. The Devils do save around $400,000 in the interim to move towards becoming cap compliant after signing Lukehughes. I do expect, if there is no other deals to come in the next couple of days, that we will see Kovacevic put on an LTIR. And I do believe now with the savings, MacDermid made about, like I said, $400,000 more or so than MacEwen. MacDermid was making $1.15 million, and MacEwen's on league minimum $775,000. So it's roughly a $400,000 savings. And I believe with that savings plus Kovacevic on LTIR, they would be cap compliant with the Luke contract, assuming no other deals are made. And we may be saving all the money in the not too distant future, because I would expect MacEwen to be in Utica. But he's also a big boy that can play the Kurtis MacDermid role if the coaching staff feels they need it. He's listed at 6'4", 227, willing combatant. You can go check out some of his fight clips online. I did a little bit of research on him after the announcement came out a few hours ago. He actually did fight as a member of the Flyers, fought former Devils enforcer Mason Gearston a few years back. But I will always appreciate MacDermid and his time here. Thank you very much, Kurtis. You are a great soldier for this team. I do wish Keefe used him a little bit more last year. MacDermid got some games early on in the season, and then it seemed like he didn't get too much ice time. But a forever Devils legend, 7-0 per Hockey Fights voting in his bouts as a Devil. Blackatron says, fell to my knees in Walmart. Yo, Holmes, adios, Big Mac. For Devil, hits like a ton of bricks. Best of luck, Big Mac. Your presence will be missed. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't come back and smash anybody on our team. Traveling Devil, wonder if Ottawa is going to utilize MacDermid right. I'd imagine he'd be utilized in a similar fashion, but we'll see. And MacEwen got his ass kicked by Arbor Jackeye Wi-Fi of the Canadians a few nights ago. You can go check that one out. That one got very chippy. And Arbor Jackeye put the beats on him a little bit. He did have like a kind of, not necessarily a cheap shot, but he did get the early jump on him. And that makes a big difference in the league for sure. For Devil, I think he has just one purpose, so they should. Traveling, congrats to him, though, for making a mill and hanging out with the team. 1.15. Traveling says, wrong era for a player like Mac. I mean, yeah, he definitely fits more in the Gladiator era, 80s and 90s. For Devil says, modern-day Doug Glatt. Obviously a reference to Goon, a bad but very good hockey movie. It's terrible and great all at once. And he definitely was traveling the main event of it's not even a line brawl. It's a 5-on-5. It's a 5-on-5 brawl. Traveling says, I hope he gets a hold of Rempe this year. That'd be pretty funny, right? If they end up fighting when he's a member of the Senators, Sens versus Rangers, I would love to see it. Traveling says, Rempe out during the preseason matchup. Yeah, he wanted no part of it. I was at the game. I wanted to see it so bad. Would have loved if MacDermid was around in the 90s. You did swap his jersey for a Pesce third? Okay. What's going on, Maria? She says, damn, let's hope we don't start getting ragdolled again. I think we have other guys who will step up if necessary. Obviously, now our resident tough guy has to be Dilly. Love Dilly. But there's some other guys who are willing to throw when it comes down to it. But, wow. What a run it was for Kurtis MacDermid. Yeah, Dylan is going to have to be the sheriff now. Maria said, thought they would find a way to keep him somehow. Fitz was in a crunch. He had to shave some money off, and MacDermid was a pretty easy $400K savings And we probably will save the additional funds when MacEwen's in the A. Maria, I think he only played the last game last season. Dylan just had neck surgery. Wonder how much fighting he will be up for. Supposedly, Dilly feels good, and he is going to be ready to go. I don't think it will inhibit him from dropping the mitts. He is a ready and willing combatant, but yeah, MacDermid got into 23 games last season. They were mostly early on. I think they were mostly before the new year of 2025. Travelin says he was looking for one in a preseason game and no one would bite, so he seems to be ready to go. Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to be a psychopath to want to fight Kurtis MacDermid. I mean, why, some of these other enforcers are about it and they'll fight anybody, but a lot of them use some sort of common sense and logic, and they're like, no, buddy, I don't want to fight you. I'll wait for somebody else. Four Devil says, I can't see losing Big Mac helping our injury woes, but I really hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, we've already suffered a ton of injuries and the season hasn't even started yet. It's unbelievable. Travelin says, I'll get over it as soon as Grits and Luke start burying some pucks. I think you're going to see that for sure. For sure. What's going on, Tasha? First thing I thought when I saw MacDermid was traded was, man, Ace is going to be crushed. Not crushed. I knew it was a very likely scenario because of the cap space we're in, the cap crunch, and the fact that, at this point we're pretty deep, and it is obvious that Keefe is not a fan of his game, and so it all kind of made sense that he was going to be on the move at some point. Tasha says, best fighter in the National. Every player in the penalty box from that line brawl are all ex-Devils players. Yeah, he was the last of the Mohicans. He's gone. Traveling, Devils will probably never have another enforcer again. Unfortunately not. In terms of like a pure enforcer, and if you really think about it, there's not many of them in the league. There's obviously the heavyweights, but a lot of them can do something else, or have a little bit more of a well-rounded game where they are not a liability and can kind of play regularly. In terms of pure enforcers, they've been an endangered species for quite some time, and they very well may be right on the cusp of extinction. Four Devil, heavier edger, more violent. We'll have to have a new face in New Jersey. Maria says Ottawa will now be the heaviest, edgiest, most violent team in the league, Dermy and Brady. That's definitely two animals. Two animals for sure. Chris says fire training staff. I can't blame the training staff, man. I mean, it is a lot of people like to kind of lean on that, but it's like, a training staff can't prevent some of these injuries. I mean, shout out to Pesce. The guy's an absolute animal. Blocks pucks like no other. And is constantly just, getting dinged up a little bit. I can't blame the training staff for that. James says inflation. We lost a Big Mac for a medium Mac. Tasha, the injuries are so bad. No KC, no Pesce, and who knows about Ethan Edwards? Well, hopefully someone's going to step up, and it's going to be interesting to see what this lineup and the decor look like on opening night. Tasha says, hey, maybe this means this will finally be the year Fitz makes move during the regular season. I'm certainly hoping so. I am certainly hoping so, because this team, I think, could do special things. And with a little extra boost approaching the deadline would be very nice. Tasha says, Ace, I just got back from Benvenuti an hour ago. Oh, man. Caramel is amazing. It was even better than I remembered. That is some good gelato there. Some good gelato. Yo, Holmes, let's go. Ace, you're late. Big Mac is adios. And Tobias has played like ass. Well, who else are you putting in, though? I mean, who else are you going to put? I wouldn't mind seeing Diot, maybe. I always forget about him. Diot could be a guy who gets an opportunity, but opportunity will be created as a result of these injuries. Kyle says, win, lose, or injured, I booze. Mr. White, what's going on? People are unaware of the record we had with MacDermid in the lineup. I made a whole video about it and got flamed by many people. Mr. White, a little bit of an extremist, but he's certainly a throwback fan, likes the rough stuff, heavier, edgier, more violent. Him and I align on a lot of stuff. He takes it to another level sometimes, and we disagree on some certain players. But the Devils did have a winning record with MacDermid in the lineup. I made a whole video about it, and I do think that the aura of MacDermid was a positive presence on the team. I mean, people tried to chalk it up to, coincidence and all these things, but I can't believe that it all is coincidence. We led the league in majors and fights in some point early on in the season, maybe through the first 2 months or whatever it is. Then that new year came, whatever the hell happened, and we were never the same. We were a horrible team in calendar year 2025. We were not physically engaged on many nights. We weren't fighting anymore. And I have to believe there's some sort of correlation there. Despite other people saying that I'm crazy, I don't think I am. Tasha said the hit ruined Bastion forever. I mean, man, that was just a terrible, just Bastion laying there in a pool of blood. And then I think the final chapter for Bastion was Lomborg just smashing his face in. Traveling says, I can't believe Dano didn't go down there and deal with it after watching that display of weakness. Yeah, I think Kenny would love to be out there on some nights. Dano, what an absolute legend Dano was, man. Ritter Engine says, so who will grow a pair and throw down when needed? I think we have several. I mean, Dilly's going to be the number one guy. But Cotter, I think, is more than willing. When Kovacevic comes back, he's shown he's more than willing. Potentially Noesen. Dilly is a savage. Cotter will get in there a little bit. Travelin says that brawl was the closest thing new fans will get to 90s badass hockey. Completely agree. I don't know. I can't recall offhand the last, forget the Devils, anywhere in the league that there was a 5-on-5 brawl to start a game. And I don't know. We may not see it again for a while. I can't remember the last one before that. M. Sharp says heavyweights care so much for teammates. Absolute respect. Yeah. Their job there is to make everyone else feel comfortable. And MacDermid definitely did that. Pro Bolt says, I hope we trade for another center or a top 6 winger if Gritsuk isn't as advertised at the deadline. I will say, I have been coming around to the idea of Gritsuk staying in the bottom 6, whether it's a third or fourth line, with Cotter, because they are going to be matchup nightmares for a lot of teams. Cotter and Gritsuk are both guys that I believe truly have top 6 skill. Now, whether they can put it all together and play in the top 6 consistently is a different story. But they both definitely have the skill set and the tools. And when you have them together on a fourth line or even potentially a third, maybe, I think they're going to go wild and do tons of damage. And so I do agree that it is kind of an exciting thought process or whatever scenario to dream of Gritsuk being a top 6 guy. But in the bottom 6, he really could be a big part of a well-balanced attack where we just keep rolling 4 lines and any line on any given night can tear you up. But we're going to see how it all develops. It will be very interesting. Gritsuk is an absolute wild card and might have a huge season and surprise us all. Devil Heaven says, grew up with Big Mac's father, Paul MacDermid, 80s Binghamton Whalers. Nice. Travelin says, I'm depressed. Collect records. Do we think the cap space from Big Mac is going to sign Glendening? I do think Glendening is going to be signed, especially with the Lammikko injury news. It's all kind of one and the same. In the end, Fitz needed to save money wherever he could because he had to fit Luke under, and he's going to have to fit Glendening, I believe, as well. It'd be a damn shame if Glendening goes elsewhere. I do think if the Devils don't sign him, someone will. And with Lammikko out, I thought it was down to those 2 guys for 4C. Lammikko gone for the foreseeable future, and so now, outside of moving Cotter to center or potentially Dawson Mercer, I think they both are more comfortable and productive at wing. Outside of moving one of those 2 back to center, what other options do you have? And so for me, I think it's the most logical thing to sign Glendening and leave Cotter and Mercer on the wings. And then obviously you're going to have to figure it all out again when Noesen returns, but it seems like that might not be for a little while either. Daniel Pino, my man, thank you, sir. Your slip of the tongue just coined a new phrase, fear comfortable. Is that what I said? It's possible. Fear comfortable? Man. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Sometimes I just, get tongue-tied. It happens. It happens. Baby Dev's playing in Binghamton tonight. Devil Heaven says Utica is going to be a force. Yeah, we've talked about this. Very promising goaltender in net in Jakob Malik. And a lot of guys that are, if not NHL ready now, that are pretty close to NHL ready. And it should be an exciting season. Hopefully if, when we're fully healthy, Casey will probably be there with Ethan Edwards and Lachance, Hameenaho. Malofsky, I think, is promising. Cam Squires. I mean, they have a lot of young, good talent, and they should be an exciting team to watch. Blackatron, I wonder what is the Devils' final record with MacDermid in the lineup? Let's see. So the Devils' record was 12-7-4 with him in the 24-25 season. Their all-time record with him in the lineup is a losing record, but that's because we were terrible in 23-24. But last season, they were 12-7-4 in his 23 games played, which is, 24 points of the win. So 28 points out of a possible 46. 19-23 out of 46. That's a 609 points percentage. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. SST is just incessantly dooming. Daniel says, real question, what am I drinking? Oh, this is I got a lot going on here. This is a large iced coffee from Quick Check. Tonight's live stream brought to you by Quick Check, fresh brewed iced coffee. I will say, guys, I might be done with Dunkin'. I did grow up, not grow up. Well, I guess grow up as well on Dunkin' Donuts, and then they eventually dropped the donuts, and now they're just Dunkin'. But iced coffee, like everything else, has gotten super expensive in this world, and I would put the turbo shots. They call it turbo shots. It's espresso shots. It's slightly smaller than this. This is a massive one, but the Dunkin' Large is a little smaller than this. And with my turbo shots, it is now $8.62. And so I had to find an alternative. And Quick Check, you make it yourself, and they have the whole bar there, which is absolutely beautiful. They have every creamer known to man, creamers, half and half, this, that, these other non-dairy creamers. Then they have a million different flavor things you could put in. There's the French vanilla, and there's all pumpkin everything, hazelnut, Reese's peanut butter cup. And so I do enjoy making it myself. Make it perfect. Put the amount of ice you want. I put the little light cream in there, a little flavor shot, whatever I'm feeling on the day, and keep it moving. Ava says, can you call Ryan Reeves out of retirement? I always liked Revo. Is he still playing? I can't keep track. It seemed like he's been on the ropes for a little while. Devil Heaven, we need hybrid, drop the gloves if needed. Yeah, that's kind of where the league is at now. There's really no true just enforcer types. You have to be able to play and do other things. They can't just give a roster spot to a guy that's just fighting, unfortunately, because I do like that. Verge Tibb says, injuries suck, but let's relax. Could be much worse. I mean, obviously it could always be worse, but this is pretty bad. One of our best defensemen in Pesce is down, and that's not very good. Not very good. And the replacement would have been Seamus Casey, I believe, is also injured. So now you're talking about a decor. Let's just call it Kovacevic and Pesce are two of our regulars, right? Two of our top six defensemen injured, and then our seventh defenseman, who would be the first, fill-in, also injured, and Seamus Casey. I mean, it's pretty brutal. How I got here, Jeremy Proper says, when can we start blaming the strength and conditioning coaches? I think that's a cop-out. I personally will never blame them. I think this is kind of a silly thing that a lot of people have latched onto. I mean, how are you going to blame a strength and conditioning coach if guys are blocking shots or getting these weird injuries? I mean, I don't know. I can't mentally get there. I'm just calling it we're cursed. Stickfig, sad to see him go. He did his job. He brought the heavier, edgier, more violent, and a pinch for cheap. And you can see the effect of his presence in your video. See you, Sheriff MacDermid. I spelled his name right this time. Yeah. Devil Heaven says our Devils are looking dangerous. I agree. I am super fired up for this season. Super fired up. Tasha, I agree with SST. MacDermid was bad, but dude is just being hypocritical. We have a lot of weapons. We definitely do, Devil Heaven. How I got here, Jeremy Proper. Who steps up the rough stuff this year? It's gonna have to be by committee, I believe. I don't think you're gonna see it too often. I mean, in the league now, you just don't see it too often. So, I can't predict how often you're gonna see the rough stuff. Probably not that often in terms of actual fights. You'll see scraps and little scrums. But Dylan is more than capable. Kovacevic, when he returns, is willing and able. I think you might get a couple out of Paulie Cotter. You could maybe get one or a couple out of Nason. We'll see. Yo, Home says, Ace, let's talk turkey. Who you got for opening day lineup, bro? We did this last night. I think it's going to be pretty much what we saw against the Rangers the other night is going to be it for the most part. Stickfix says, no, we keep Gritsuk. He wanted to check in after not writing for a while, 19 hours. I need his telegram in my life, and he loves the game. A lot of people have been entertained by his wholesome Telegram posts. I see them secondhand from other people because I don't have Telegram. Little seasonal allergy. Tasha. I've seen crits in bottom six since the Ranger game. I think the depth is just too good. Yeah, it's a well-rounded attack, I believe. The bottom six is going to have life this year. Yo, Holmes, hit the like, bros. Thanks, Yo, Holmes. I always forget. Hit the like. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Line projections opener. I guess I'll do it again. It's only a slight change from no surprises, really. Yeah, it's going to be Dadonov, Jack, and Bratter, Timo, Nico, Mercer, Palat, Glass, Connor Brown, and then I think you're going to see on the fourth line Cotter with probably Glendening and Gritsuk. So exactly what this chart is here, but just swap out Lammikko as the 4C for Glendening, and I believe that is going to be your opening night lineup, assuming no one else gets hurt. I mean, if we have any more injuries before that, it'd be insane. I mean, I guess the only time for people to get hurt now would be tomorrow in the Flyers game, which I think is going to be mostly, minor league guys and maybe some NHL guys. Let me see. I can't keep up with all this. I don't know if that was revealed yet. But we just gotta stay no more we gotta stay injury free until the regular season, because this is just crazy. All right, yeah, so I haven't seen any news on that yet. But yeah, I believe that's the lineup we're gonna see. Probably Glendening is 4C. More people fighting in the chat. ST says Fitz should have signed O'Reilly instead of Meyer. He was available for half the price. Oh God. Oh boy. Samuel says a team turning a bottom six into a bottom three and a top nine always makes a winner. Yeah, I mean, most of the guys in this forward group can play up and down the lineup. In a pinch or someone gets hurt in a game, whatever it is, you could kind of mix a lot of these guys around and no one will be out of place. And it's a great luxury to have. It's a great point, Samuel. I mean, the combinations that we could play with are just endless. Daniel, thank you, sir. I'm serious. Fear comfortable is a mindset and no holiday break. That's when they come back turkey down and go downhill. That holiday break, Daniel, what the hell happened? We don't know. It's the multi-million-dollar question. What happened to the New Jersey Devils over the holiday break that caused them to just go from what looked like a true cup contender to one of the worst teams in the league? It was severely depressing. I was flying so high, during the holiday break, Christmas and leading up to the New Year. It just felt so good. We were just gelling, and then it all went downhill. Mr. White says Reeves got traded from Toronto to San Jose this summer. Alan, Ace, I just joined the chat. Any news on Pesce yet? No. The Pesce update that we got from Sam Kassan was he's continuing to be evaluated to be determined on his availability for season opener. So there is a chance he's going to miss some time. Super unfortunate hit to the defense, but I got to credit Fitz. He stockpiled defensemen. Stockpiled them. And we're going to go to the depth immediately. We're going to the depth already. Casey also hurt. So who's it going to be? I think Edwards was fighting off some sort of nagging injury also. Is it going to go down to Villain? Is it maybe DI? I mean, wow. Just an insane amount of injuries on the defense. Verge says, I know it's rough, but Pesce was skating today at least, so he shouldn't be that far off. Yeah, I'm not going to put too much stock into it, though, because you never know. I'm just hoping we get a report that he's, perfectly fine and will be back for the opener. Stanislav, what's up, Ace? You're going to the home opener. I will be at the home opener. SST, you play Edwards now, and he's going to get injured, too. Just watch. I thought he had a minor. I think Edwards is already injured. Is it like something small, or is he like out indefinitely? Stick Figs, everyone is saying that we have a real chance if we can stay healthy, and this is how we start the season. We're not beating the allegations. It's rough. It is rough. Justin, thumbs up for anyone that hates the New York Rangers. Well, that's me. But yeah, hit the thumbs up for your boy. Appreciate that, Justin. Devil Heaven says we need tough kids, future, etc. Mark, Brat and Jack will break 100 points and it'll be done in high-octane, beautiful plays. I hope so, Mark. And again, if they stay healthy, this could be a big breakout year for both of them, I think. I would love to see 100-plus points out of both of them. And I think that's definitely possible. I look forward to seeing our power play be lethal again. I think you're going to see that with a couple different looks. I think there's some personnel options they have where good luck to the PK on the other team, because there is just some weapons. Travelin says, who scores the first goal of the season for the Devils? I'm always going to go with Bratter. Fentanyl says, would like to upgrade the third line. I think Pally and Brown might do some magic this year too. We will see. But we might see the most optimized usage of Palat this year, and I hope he kind of has a bounce back. Justin says Jack Hughes scores the first goal for the Devils. I mean, never a bad pick, right? M Sharp, Florida teams beating each other up in the preseason. Yeah, there was quite the little melee last night in the Lightning Panthers game. Very chippy stuff in the preseason. You love to see it. Stickfix says, play that guy Hallen, and I've heard good things. And look up his photo if you don't know. He just looks like a backyard bully that's still giving grown men swirlies. I've liked Hallinan for a while. Maybe he'll get a chance this year. I mean, last year I think he played 1 or 2 games. Like, yeah, the constant shuffling of the bottom 6 pieces. We just saw guys swapped in, and no one really got an extended look. I liked Legari last year too. Del Evans says, let's bring back Flyers, Devils, Rivals, Rags, Pens, etc. Yeah, I mean, we used to have so many great rivalries when all these teams were good and the game was a little bit more physical. Stickfix says, I want private investigators on our players over the holiday break. Michael, I think guys getting hurt has more to do with the modern game with no 2-line passes or hooking and grabbing. Players are traveling faster now. I mean, it could be. Man, remember the 2-line pass? Larry, glad nothing serious with Pesce. Otherwise, Fitzy might have made another stupid move like claiming his son off waivers. Tasha, I mean, the top 6 wasn't awful after the holiday break. Yeah, but on nights that they struggled, the bottom 6 did nothing. The defense didn't really chip in much offense. And as a result, we just were a horrible team in 2025. Shut out 8 or 9 times. I always forget. But 8 or 9 times is with the lineup. Even with the top 2 lines we have, that should never happen. 8 or 9 times in a season to be shut out. Devil Heaven Metro is weak. We got this. I do think it's not out of the question. I think they could win the division. I'm still kind of thinking about for my long-term season prediction videos, but that'll be out with some player stuff as well in the next week or so. Well, Mr. White says, what happened after the holiday break? I'll tell you exactly what happened. The true colors of our guys came out. We went right back to being the pushovers we were for years. You can't ask our new guys to defend everyone when no one will have their backs. Our core is melted butter soft. Oh, boy. All right, guys. I had to fix it again. Is it red now? You saw a little fire out of Nico, Mr. White. But yeah, obviously the core is not super tough, but we have some tough pieces around. I would like 1 or 2 more guys that kind of fit that mold. Alan says, how much do you think MacEwen will be used? If I'm being honest, I'm going to say sparingly. Very little. I don't think you see him too often at all. Del Evans says, time to win now, boys. Eastern Conference Finals. Here we go. I would love to see it. I I don't think it's impossible, but it starts with health. And so far, the health has already become an issue. Already. We didn't even get to the regular season yet. Devil Heaven says, I'm thinking maybe a tweak or two midseason. Other than that, our Devils are looking honest. Stanislav's picking Nico to score first. Ava says that Grits to Cotter pass last night was nice. Beautiful play. I think we're going to see those two guys just torture people all season long. Tasha says, I agree. Nico is my first goal of the season pick. It's not a bad one. Traveling Devil says, I'm going with Grits on his first shift. I like it. Stickfig says, season opener at Carolina, 0-0, 1 minute left. Carolina pulls their goalie. Markey blocks a chip with his stick and sends it down ice for the first goal of the season. M. Sharp says, Cumberland Farms is the quick check near me. Good to know the go-to in Jersey. I think I've been to a Cumberland Farms when I was traveling somewhere. I don't know if it was in South Jersey or in another state, perhaps. But quick check, good pricing, but more importantly than the price, you make it yourself, and they have everything you could want there. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know that now I know I'm getting old because I'm getting excited about the milk and creamer station for the coffee at the quick check. I mean, what's next? I'm going to start cutting coupons out of the newspaper. I mean, it happens quick, guys. Shout out to all the rest of you old people out there. My God, it's brutal. Now that it's brutal. SST says, now that the color is red, you give running the thumbs up. Michael, last season with only 2 productive lines, if teams were able to shut them down, it was pretty much over. Seems it will be a much different story this year. New supporting cast will make a huge difference. No, agreed. More balanced attack, a bottom 6 that could actually score. And hopefully we get a little more offense from the defense. Hopefully Luke picks it up a little bit, and then we get some random goals here and there from other defensemen. We need production from as many places as we could get it, because there are nights, as we all have seen, where the big guns aren't just big gunning it. You know, Jack and Brad could have a bad game, Timo, Nico, whatever it is, or the other team shutting them down, whatever it is, you don't want to rely on them solely. And that's kind of what the deal was last year. And when they got shut down, it was a wrap. Shut out 8 or 9 times. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. This bottom 6, I think, is going to be a breath of fresh air on the season. And I do think is one of the biggest elements of this team being better than last season. And especially in terms of going further in the playoffs. Alan says, what is said about today's hockey is how much the game has changed as the fighters have been phased out. Yeah, I miss it. A lot of people don't like it. I don't know how. But I love it. Maria says it's digital coupons now, Ace. Maria, I know that there's digital coupons, but there's also paper ones. Some came in the mail today. I just threw them out. The whole little newspaper thing. There's still traditional printed coupons. Stickfig says, anyone else load up on the soup crackers from Quick Check because they're a lot tastier than grocery store saltines? Is that a pro tip? I have not tried those yet, Stickfigs. Maybe I'll have to take a gander the next time I'm in there. I think I'm going to have to check that out. The soup crackers from Quick Check. Okay. Jay Snow says, I'd love another gritty player on this roster. It's basically just Cotter and Dylan right now until Noesen and Kobe come back. Tasha, Willie Nylander made a YouTube channel. Wonder who on our team would do that. Maybe Grits, actually. I don't think anyone would, but that's interesting. When did William Nylander do that? I'm surprised. Eventually, well, maybe not. I guess every team is different about what they want their players to do. Summer in Sweden from Willie Styles. It's interesting. Stanislav says, I don't have faith in Luke. Why would you not have faith in Luke? I think Luke is going to have a great year and a very good career. I'm not sure why you would not have faith in Luke. Larry says, I'm going to miss Tatar and Bastion. All right. Knights of Chrome, hammy for Tyler Zegras straight up. I'm not a Zegras guy. I understand why the young people kind of like him. But if I'm being honest, I think he's a little bit of a redundant type player in kind of comparison to what we already have. Like, I don't know. I'd like to see a different kind of player versus a Zegras. Wouldn't complain if we got him, obviously, but I just think there's guys that bring more of what we need than Zegras does. Not to mention, he's definitely not going to get traded. He just got traded. Stickfigs, staff were dogging a Cotter. Wait. Staff were dogging a Cotter a bit last season because they saw more potential in him than a body. We saw it in the early months last season. We're seeing it now. Okay. Jason, no, the guys who can't play hockey and just fight are phased out, but there's still physicality. Yeah. You need to be able to do more than just fight, though. Just fighting alone is not going to keep you in the league in 2025. Amagi, McKinnon playing Fortnite and streaming it in low quality was such a hilarious time. When did that happen? SST says, have your season expectations lowered because of the injuries now seem to be the common feature of this team, its identity? I'm not. No, I'm still, because it's not the big guns. While it sucks to lose the guys that we're losing at the moment, I'm not downgrading my outlook on the season from those injuries. Collect records. Ace, you must have a newer quick check by you. The one near my work looks like the door handle has hepatitis A through E. There's a couple of them that are actually newer near me. I feel like there was no quick checks really around me until maybe, years are flying by, so I'm a little rusty on timelines. But I'm going to say like it's in the past 5 years kind of thing. I don't think they haven't been here for long, and they are newer ones. There's one that's a little bit older, and it is kind of depressing in there. The newer ones have a much better feel to it. What's going on, Vic? Mr. White says, Zegras, we're not building a team for your Xbox. Vic says, RIP Big Mac era New Jersey. Chris said, I'll never forget when I told Big Mac to take care of it on the red carpet, and he said, I'll take care of it. And whatever it was, he took care of it. Jay Snow, you can tell Jack was barely playing hard last night. These preseason games suck. Listen, it is what it is. No one's really going 100%. And at this point, you can't blame anybody. They're just trying to kind of get their reps in, get a little loose, and just not get injured, because this is crazy now. Seth, going to miss Big Mac for sure. MacEwen is also a tough customer, though, and a much better skater. Jason, that's why they don't even play the starters in the NFL. Devil Heaven, nothing new on Noesen. He's been at practice, but he's not ready to return for real yet, so we don't know. Don't know. Tasha, yeah, Willie made the channel recently. He was working on it over the summer. He said the video was a good watch. Definitely gave off big contract vibes. It was very movie-like. Well, I'd expect him to do it right. If you're going to do it right. There's no point in doing it and making it like crap. He probably had a videographer. Jay Snow, Rempe looked bad last night, and he's fighting for a roster spot. Yeah, he may be in the AHL for most of the season, chunks of the season, trying to be known for more than just fighting and become a more well-rounded player and find a permanent home on the Rangers roster. I haven't been following that too closely, so I have no idea kind of where he's at right now, but I do wish that he fought MacDermid in that game at the Rock a couple weeks ago. Stanislav says, we'll miss Big Mac. Tasha, I guarantee Keith told the guys to play less hard since all the other injuries. I don't even know that he had to tell them that. I think they're all very aware of the situation. Jason, no, I just didn't want starters to get hurt, and of course Pesce goes down. Alan, staying with the fighter comment I made, example, a guy like Matt Rempe could play hockey when he gets a chance, even though I hate the Rangers. Kind of wish our Devils could find someone like him. No, there's a lot. I love Olivier on the Jackets. He could play, and he's a tough customer. He'll fight anybody. I would love to have a guy like that, but they're few and far between. Obviously, Tom Wilson has been kind of the gold standard, I think, in terms of skill that could crush people. Mr. White, what's your thoughts on having the traveling circus Hughes brothers in about 18 months? I hope Quinn gives a team friendly, and then I hope we go and win a cup with them. That's all I could do is hope that we win. But they need them three alone are not going to win a cup. I will tell everyone that. The three Hughes brothers alone does not guarantee you a cup. They need to have the right complementary pieces around them. And I think they very well could. And I would love to see it. I want this team to win a cup so badly. Justin says, Ace, which new player jersey will you buy this season? Well, I won't be buying any new player jerseys to wear. But I may buy a game-worn jersey of somebody. I usually buy at least one a season. I'd have to think. The usual suspects are always on my list. The guys that I like, you guys know who I like. I like all the guys, obviously, but there's a certain brand of player that I gravitate towards a little bit more. Andrew says, correct about Grits and Kotz in the bottom 6 matchup-wise. Just want Grits to get more minutes, hopefully power play. I'd be shocked if you didn't see him on power play 2. If not power play 1 at points. Jason said, I wanted Olivier to be a Devil. Trolling in Paradise. Devils might end up landing the wild card spot, force them to face the Kings for a second straight year and end up ousted again in round 1 in 5 games. I hope not. I hope we win the division, honestly. I would love to win the division. I don't think it's impossible. SST says, Runnin, will you present the Devil Stanley Cup episode in your underwear only? No. Absolutely not. Jason, Nemitz was taking Rempe off pucks along the walls last night. Yeah, Nemitz is a beast, guys. You saw the offseason training photos, and now we are seeing the benefit of said training. This kid is going to have a big season, and I think you're going to see him toss some people around. Larry says, Glendening will be a good placeholder until McLeod comes back in December. Oh, boy. McLeod's never coming back, Larry. I'm pretty sure he's not getting a job in the league. People are actively petitioning and stuff when there's rumors of teams signing him. He was going to get a deal in Carolina, and a bunch of people made a petition and got it kiboshed. Justin says, when will you fix your background setup? Enough is enough. Soon. It's coming soon, Justin. I promise. My absolute deadline is the opening game. I'm hoping it's done before then. I mean, wow, I have 6 days? It'll be done. I'm just digging through more stuff and finding more stuff and just making sure that I make smart choices to be included in the background because I don't want to have to put holes and then rehang stuff. Jason said, do you think the Devils are going to be a wild card? Not me, but people in here think that. Yo, Holmes, we don't know. All we know about Casey is that per Sam Kassan, we won't see Casey back on skates in the near future. Not too promising. Per Sam Kassan Twitter, whatever Casey has is not, not great. Tasha says the hate on the studio setup is as bad as the Fitz hate. No, I deserve it. It's gone on way too long. It's partially me just kind of being inundated in life and being indecisive and sometimes procrastinating and having ADD and all these things. And so it's been hard for me. I've been telling myself every day, I look at it and I kind of pace in here and I get upset at myself that it's gone on this long. I only wanted to have it be like this in a state of flux for a few days max. And it's already been a few weeks. And so I do have to just buckle down and get it done. John Woodson says, too bad we won't be able to now afford the monster Nemitz is about to turn into. I'm curious, Woodson, what is your prediction for Nemitz points this season? Nemitz points, and then what type of contract do you think he will be looking for, Woodson? Very curious your thoughts on that. And I do agree that there, not indefinitely, but there is a chance that we won't be able to afford to keep Nemitz. Because Gritsuk is going to be getting paid after this season too, as are some other guys, Cotter, and there might be one or two others that I'm forgetting. But if all goes according to plan, both of these guys are going to be getting paid. Stanislav says, signing off, may run into you at the Rock. My daughter asked me to go celebrate her birthday there. Very nice. She has to go to a game for her birthday. Yo, Holmes says, thanks, Ace. Isn't Chalowski next guy up? I don't think we really know. It could be Tobias Villain. If Edwards is not still injured, he had some sort of small injury, I believe, as well. I think Edwards might get a look. And if all these guys are injured, it could be Chalowski. But I don't know that far down the defensive depth chart if we actually know what the order is at the moment. And maybe we will get more clarity on that tomorrow or in the coming days. But yeah, there's going to be a real opportunity for somebody on defense as a result of all these injuries. Tasha said, anyone else watch the Keefe interview from today? He said Casey wasn't entirely forthcoming with how bad the injury was, so he could get out and play and show off and stuff. Damn. I did not catch up on all the videos yet. I just got home a little while ago. I haven't seen all the stuff that came out from today, video-wise. Tosh said he basically made the injury way worse, and now he's out for who knows when. That's awful. Jason, they got to pay Cotter, Grits, Nemitz after this year. Yeah, those are the three guys I mentioned. Tonight, Stanislav. They had Chalowski in that spot. And so, yeah, we will find out. But with this team, every day is a winding road. There's new injuries daily. It seems super unfortunate. We are not even in the regular season yet, and we've amassed a shitload of injuries in the past couple weeks, including, guys in the Prospects Challenge before camp. Two of the most exciting prospects. Two of the guys your boy Ace was the most excited for that I was talking about for weeks leading up to this, from even before the Prospects Challenge. Lenni, Hameenaho, and Lachance, and they both got injured in that challenge, missed most of camp and all of the preseason except for the one game they played thus far. And here we are. And now defensemen are going down. I mean, and Lammikko, a potential 4C down. We just cannot stay healthy. We cannot stay healthy. Anyone have anything else? Got some things to take care of. Got a few things to do. Anyone have anything in closing? Tomorrow against the Flyers at 12:30, I will be doing a post-game live. Very interested to see what the lineups are going to be. Oh, SST says if Nemitz has a good season, he'll be looking for a bridge $5 million deal. Woodson said Nemitz will have 30 points this year and will only get better, but his strength will be on defense. He'll command the same as Luke in the future. And with Quinn coming in, there's no chance we extend him. Yeah, it sucks. Really sucks. I hope Nemitz makes it the long haul, because I think he is going to be a very good defenseman. Robbie's bench boss says if Nemitz and Grits truly take off and have to be paid, I'd be okay saying goodbye to Mercer if someone needs to go past the obvious Hamilton and Palat. I mean, that could be a course of action. I do think this team is going to make a hole if Mercer's traded, but Devil Heaven Ace, be good. Mowing grass, butchers at the golf course tomorrow, 5 a.m. Oh my God, that's crazy. Tasha, I have no hate on the studio. I get it. I'm the queen of procrastination. I put everything off to the last minute. My ADHD sucks. Yeah, I'm with you. Collect. You'd think SST would stop predicting salaries after he said Luke would sign for $4 million. I didn't even bother to troll him for that. I do have the screenshots somewhere. But at the, months ago when he said that, I was like, that is just so beyond ridiculous. And I said, there's zero chance that Luke signs for that. Oh, wait, hold on, guys. I actually have it. Guys. I saved receipts. Thank you for reminding me collect records. I do save receipts. And there's the exchange. There is the exchange. Let me just so he said Luke isn't getting anywhere near a $7 to $8 million contract. Mind you, this was forever ago, guys. I predicted 7 to 8 million before the cap went up. This was maybe 6 to 8 months ago. So SST said Luke isn't getting anywhere near 7 to 8 million contract because he's not anywhere near Brock Faber as a player. And then I said, get ready to eat crow. What was your guess? 2.5? And then he said, no, Johnny was 2.5. Luke was 4. Maybe he somehow gets 5. And that already eats up all the cap money increase. I'll be laughing at you all when I prove myself correct again. Then Ryder said he's grabbing 7. They won't pay him as much as Jack, but he will get paid. You're smoking crack if you think he will take 4 or 5 when other teams will pay him 8. Again, this is pre-cap going up, so a totally different world. And then I said, no chance on either. I can't wait to mock you relentlessly for this, which I haven't done until right now, if this constitutes mocking. But sometimes you got to pull out the receipts and show people, kind of rub their face in when they're wrong, because SST is pretty much wrong all the time. Not all the time. He's right once in a while. But in terms of salaries, I mean, Luke isn't getting anywhere near $7 to $8 million contract. Yeah, and then he got 9. But it is funny that I did save this. And there's nothing for SST to deny because it's literally right here in the screenshot. I might have some others too. But I knew that one was going to be one that would be an interesting one to look back on after the contract was signed. But thank you for reminding me about that. Collect records. Dubs is like says they're going to sign Glendening. I think they don't have a choice. I think Lammikko's out for a while, and it's like, who else is going to be the 4C? I think it's got to be him. Woodson says Nemitz will be the only D-man that stays healthy, and he will leave. I hope not. Alan Ace, just curious, what is the deal with Marty's son? Only saw him play a few times. Did he not look bad? I do not see much of a future for him in the Devils. No, I mean, he's a pretty solid minor league goalie. I always wanted to see him get an NHL start, but with all the guys in the organization now, I just don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. I think he's going to be in the minors this year, whether it's the AHL or the ECHL. Stick Figs, I hate that bum school ASU and want to see projected number 1 Gavin McKenna run up the score, but ASU is a budding superstar. It's been selected by NJ. What do I do, Ace? In terms of what? You're talking about Ben, is it Ben Kevin or... Louis says, when has SST been right about anything? And then SST said, kids, obviously I knew little brother will sign for more. I mean, that's not what the receipts said, my friend. Stickfix, SST must have been in Fitzy or start at league minimum and negotiate up, which is why Luke's contract took so long. Rico, players that get 30 points will now be asking for 9 or 8 million for nothing. Yeah, we're about to see crazy contracts. I've been trying to warn you guys about this for months. I said the new cap era is going to blow people's mind. Tasha said, where does SST live? Are the rumors true? He isn't a New Jersey native. That is correct. He is not even in the States. Charlie, when do you see Dougie getting moved? Hopefully not till next offseason, because I think it would be foolish to trade him before a playoff run. I obviously would love to have Dougie for the playoffs. So maybe next season is when the Devils explore it some more. Chris Holmes says, Bud Ice, this channel is dead to me. But the sign? It's a sign, my friend. Tasha says, say it with me. Fitz trade Dawes. He's using a VPN from North Korea. Tasha, Kaprizov contract was an overpay. In my opinion, he's not worth it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a lot of money too, but what Billy Guerin was kind of forced. What was he going to do? Let him walk? I mean, you're going to see now. I'm so curious to see what McDavid takes. You could argue that McDavid's worth like, 20-something million now. But I do think McDavid will leave a little bit of that meat on the bone because I think he wants to win more than anything. After getting to the finals and losing 2 years in a row to the Panthers, he must have nightmares about those guys. Nicholas, everybody's hurt. Verge says, didn't know about McLeod almost getting signed, then didn't because of a petition. That's pretty messed up. Yeah, a bunch of Hurricanes fans, there was rumors they were going to sign McLeod and Carter Hart, and they started a petition, and then that got squashed. And now I think these people are going to try to petition every team that is rumored to be signing one of these guys, and we may never see them get NHL jobs again. Michael says, can't hate on Bud Ice, not because of the actual beer, but for the NHL commercials in the 90s. Oh, man, the Penguin. How's your Bud Ice? Doobie, doobie, doo. Epic, epic commercials. He says, yeah, man, but it says Bud Ice, terrible beer. I mean, I got it because it's a Stanley Cup neon. I didn't get to, it's not like there's other beers that have this. This is an item they made. It's a sick neon, and so there it is. Oh, and Lammikko, he says, but great channel and great content. Thanks. I'm not drinking the Bud Ice. I just like the neon. Bud Ice was garbage. We didn't know any better when we were younger. It was higher alcohol percentage, I believe, though. So I remember you slam down a couple of those cold Bud Ice 40s in a couple minutes and you were on your way. Alan says, Ace, I thought I was one of the few to suffer with the Jersey allergies. It sucks. No, I've always had it. I get all stuffy and sinusy. Tasha, the fall allergies are absolutely brutal. Hit me bad last year. It hits me bad every year. Yeah, Devils fan says Vegas has a petition going for Hart. Oh, my God. I forgot about Zima. It was better than Zima. Zima was one of those first kind of things, right? And then was like Smirnoff Ice was a pretty early one. That's one of those earlier ones. I remember Smirnoff Ice. There was obviously Mike's Hard Lemonade. These are kind of the early, the beginning of these types of alcoholic beverages. Twisted Teas. Oh, man. Michael says, my cheap beer of choice during the college days was Busch Light. Jay Snow in Carolina ain't signing McLeod anymore. Yeah. The petitions have worked. Oh, Robbie's Bench Boss, Four Loko. I had a Four Loko problem. When Four Loko first came out, let me tell you, whoo, man, some of my boys were heavy into the Four Loko. An energy drink or some kind of malt liquor drink that had an energy drink component to it. Absolutely lethal. And then I'll be getting texts from people about, college kids like dropping dead from it apparently. And like my mother was super freaked out because she's a worry person. And I'd always get texts about, the articles of people dying supposedly from Four Loko. And then they eventually were forced, I think by maybe some sort of law where they had to change the formula. So I think it didn't have the energy drink or the caffeine component. And once the announcement was made that the formula was being changed, I got in my SUV and went to every single liquor store within like a 10-mile radius and bought out all of the OG Four Loko recipe. So I basically had like a pallet worth of original recipe Four Loko when they announced that they were changing it. I went out and scooped them all up. Yeah, I think they came out and said they're not going to sign him, Tasha. They're caving to the pressure. Michael, I remember girls used to drop Jolly Ranchers into Zimas back in the day. Yo, Holmes says, can't beat the Bushwhackers. Brandon says, I must be the only one who watches this channel that doesn't smoke anything or drink alcohol. No, we have a lot of people that don't drink alcohol here. I'm trying to think of a new version of Win or Lose We Booze for the non-drinkers. I'm still working on that. Michael, speaking of malt liquor, 40 Hands was always a good time. Oh, man. Edward 40 Hands? Your boy was a champion in the dorm freshman year. Taped those things up, and I was just like, and I'm not even a big beer guy, but, I had to show them how it's done freshman year. They were talking a lot of smack, and the New Jersey guy had to show them how it's done. Yo, Holmes, Old English was my OG Stoop 40. Nice. OE. Tasha, reminds me of that girl who went to an Ivy League or something and died drinking one of those Panera energy drinks. Really? I don't know if I heard about that. Chris, all right, real topic. You really don't want Dougie dumped at or before the deadline if someone picks up his contract? I do that regardless of a run. His D is a serious problem. No, I don't want him dumped. He is still one of our best defenders, and he brings much-needed offense. Now, I'll put an asterisk on that if somehow Luke looks completely lethal and he's running power play 1 and Dougie's not on power play 1 anymore at some point during the season, and Nemitz looks phenomenal and everybody else looks good, and it seems as though we could survive Dougie moving on, then maybe. But in the end, it'd be very hard to convince me that the Devils would not be in a better position to push for a Stanley Cup with Dougie Hamilton in the lineup versus without him. Now, obviously, I've said this a million times as well. If he's involved in the Quinn deal, then I'm not going to remotely complain about it because that's, D for D. But just in terms of moving on from Dougie and not replacing him with a similar type of defenseman, I think would be a little bit too early. Robbie's Bench Boss, I did the same with Jarom Blacks too. Bought up all those clothes back in the mid-2000s before they got pulled. I remember, I knew some people that liked those. I remember those too. I could kind of picture their logo and the box. Brandon says, I'm 26 years old. Tasha says, me too. Wait, there's a couple different Tashas. Now I get confused. This Tasha, is this Tasha a male or female? Michael says, Robbie, I did the Jarum special. It's been a minute. Amagi, I drank 3 of those Panera drinks in one sitting because I didn't know what they were. I was bouncing off the walls. I never heard about this Panera energy drink. Traveling Devil says, win or lose, we owe duels. I don't know. Do people that don't drink alcohol drink O'Doul's? I could have sworn I was told there's a small trace amount of alcohol in those, maybe. Maria says, Jarum brings back memories. Michael, we would share them because they made you lightheaded. Alan says, Ace, I know it will not happen or whatever reason, but would love for Mike McLeod to come back to the Devils. It's never happening. It's never happening, and it is what it is. Who even knows what level he could play at right now? I mean, everyone is, picturing the guy, the player that he was right before he left, but that was a long time ago. That version of Michael McLeod may never. Well, I mean, I actually don't think any version of Michael McLeod is going to see an NHL rink again. But if he does, we may not see that level of play. I mean, he was really one of the better bottom 6 players in the league for that stretch. All right, so Tasha's a male. Okay. Coors Banquet, it's the move. Is that like the yellow can one? Amagi, love the hat and Traveling Devils profile pic. That was the first hat I bought at the Rock, I think. Now I lost. Where's Traveling? Chris, I'd start a petition for McLeod back. We could use him as 3C and slide Glass into 4C. Strong middle lines 1 through 4. Good luck with that petition, Chris. After you do that, then there'll be 10 people, 10 different groups starting the petition to not bring him back. Richard, our biggest problem with my college football buddies was, do we buy toilet paper or get another case of, wait for it, Meisterbrow? $11 for a case. Wow. Robbie's Bench Ball says, O'Doul's and decaf coffee is almost serving my personal hell. Mr. White says, McLeod on one leg is better than Lammikko. Mr. White, just to confirm, there's a little X logo near your thing. Are you watching this on X? I'm trying to figure out if people on X can make comments because I never see comments from people on X, yet there are people watching on X, I believe. And so I am trying to figure that out. I will say, okay. I will say that I'm not sure what platforms it's going to be on, but I am preparing while it's kind of a dual project. While I'm preparing to put the studio back together, I am also pulling all of the items for the massive giveaway show, and it's wild. Lots of cool stuff is going to be given out. Do you guys want to see some of it? I kind of have it all. I think I could get like a little batch of it if people are curious, but all the details will be coming out soon on the giveaway show. Lots and lots of stuff spanning Devils history. Robbie's Benchball says they call those color cans Yellow Jackets. Okay. Oh man, Boone's Farm. Oof. Boone's Farm, rough. Tasha said, my real name is Natasha. How did you know? I mean, I would have thought that before SST said that as well. Tasha said, wait, bro, I misspelled. I'm not male. I am female. Oh, I'm so confused. I am so confused. Tasha, are you a man or a woman? We're all confused now. Am I shipping to Quebec? Well, you got to win the contest first. I have to see if the program, the shipping thing I use, if it could ship to Canada. I hope I could ship to Canada if any Canadians win. Big Cheese Make Me says, back in my day, it was a Natty Ice and a J. Collect Records, 1993. Natty L was $7.11 per case at the Bottle King on Route 17. That's a very good memory, Collect Records. You're going back over 30 years ago, and you remember the exact price. Tasha says, I'm a part of the small hockey minority of female fans. Okay. Well, glad to see we have some females. I most of the time, there's probably very little. Obviously, Maria is one of our female regulars. There might be a couple others, and I can't forget Nicole. Nicole's here a lot, and a lot of you people are savages and ask her if she's still single when she's married, clearly, and her husband's in the photo. Brandon says, Ace, Mr. White has to be from X because I'm not seeing his comments here. Oh, so do you see them when I put them up on the screen? I'm assuming you see that. I'm in my own little portal here, so I can't really see what you see. But do you see the X comments when I put them on the screen? All right, do you guys want to see some of the giveaway items? Or should I just end this thing? I'm hoping to see McKenna live in college. I would like to see him. Okay, so you only see the X comments when I put them on the screen, though? You don't see them in the chat box, only when I put them up? McKenna, Apple already. Brandon says, I see the comment on the screen, but he's for sure from X. Yo, Holmes, in high school, the best price was Beast Light 30 racks for $8.99. All right, guys, there's your warning. Tasha is a minor. Y'all can't be hitting on me like poor Maria. Yeah, you guys, or not, no, they do it to Nicole, who's not here right now. All right, guys, Tasha is a child. Please don't say anything inappropriate. She gave you the disclaimer. Be appropriate. Thank you. We don't need any issues, and you don't want to be creeps. Appreciate you coming out and chatting, Tasha. Mr. White, I'm on X, and yes, we do see my comments. Magi says show them. All right. All right, bear with me 1 second. I guess I'll show a couple of the items, but the giveaway show is going to be fire. I'll be right back. I'm going to see what I could grab that's nearby. All right, folks, he's back. He is back. All right, I'm just going to show some of the items, but it's going to be a massive giveaway show. The dates will be announced. There'll be a bunch of different ways to win. Some will be random, some will be trivia, but we're giving away all kinds of shit. Patrick Eliash, Devils all-time leading scorer, signed photo. Patty Eliash signed photo will be given away to somebody. Brendan Dillon, my man Dilly. Dilly with the heavier, edgier, more violent scrap against Gadjevich. Someone will be getting a Brendan Dillon signed photo. Oh, now we're jumping it back to a little bit to the old days. We have a 1995 Stanley Cup champion. Oh wait, this is the 20th anniversary program. Sorry, the 20th anniversary commemorative edition program. Then we also have the banner raising program from 1996 when they put the 95 Cup banner up. Those will be given away. We have Martin Brodeur signed artwork. This is a super vintage, nice piece. Marty Brodeur signed. That'll be given away. No, Brandon, AI is not going to get my questions, my guy. I wouldn't do trivia. Anyone could ask AI. No, they won't. No, they won't, Brandon. And I proved it the other night. I asked a banger that nobody could get. We have a nice little, the captain, Scott Stevens little artwork piece. I'm not giving away mine, but I have one in the box. But just so you can see, somebody will be getting Timo time. There's one in here. This is my personal one, but just to show you, someone will be getting the Timo Meier bobblehead clock. Timo will be given away. Timo will be given away. What else do we have here? Oh, the salute. The Martin Brodeur commemorative program will be given away. The salute, the commemorative, all sorts of beautiful photos in here. That will be finding a winner. What else do we got? Claude Lemieux starting lineup. Let's go. Vintage. This thing's older than some of you in here. A vintage Claude Lemieux starting lineup. We got a Marty Brodeur retirement jersey retirement night button. We got the Marty retirement night decal. Got some signed postcards. Sergey Brylin, member of the Ring of Honor. Sergey Brylin signed postcard. We have the Gomer, Scott Gomez signed postcard. Oh, look at this. Randy Mack. We got a Randy McKay signed postcard for somebody. We got Grant Marshall, 2003 Stanley Cup champion. Grant Marshall postcard signed. What else do I have in here? We got Patrick Elias retirement night puck. Patty Elias retirement night puck will be getting given away. All kinds of rally towels. All kinds of, we got Let's Go Devils. What is this one? Raise your voice, raise your game, raise hell. That'll be getting given away. We got some, not too many remaining, but the heavier, edgier, more violent winter cap. This is going to be a classic one day. Shout out to those of you that bought one last year with the Running with the Devils, the thick patch on the back. Heavier, edgier, more violent hats. We'll give away a couple of those. We have the New Jersey Devils Violent Gentleman collaboration. A Violent Gentleman hat will be given away, guys. Who's doing this shit? Tell me who's doing this. Ain't nobody doing this. Running with the Devils is doing this. Bang! A 2000 Stanley Cup Champions hat will be given away. The 2000 Cup Champs on Ice hat will be given away. We got a scarf. This, I have one open, but nice Devil scarf will be given away. It will be given away. Patrick Elias official game puck from the retirement night. Patty Elias retirement night game puck will be given away. And then we got the bling, kids. Oh, we got the bling. It's going to be a giveaway show, Bobby. The details are going to be coming soon. 2000 Stanley Cup champion replica ring. The 2000 Cup ring will be given away. Also have a 2003 Stanley Cup ring that will be given away. Lots of shit, guys. I'm just getting started. There might be like 40, 50 items. There's going to be a ton of ways to win. Stay tuned. Pay attention. It's going to be pandemonium. We're giving away a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff as a thank you to all of you for your continued support as we build the greatest Devils fan community in all the land. In all of the land. Patrick Elias retirement night button. A little Patrick Elias retirement night button. That'll be one of the many items given away. We got the playoff puck, Raise Hell. Raise Hell. The focus on this thing's annoying. Raise Hell puck will be given away. We got more rally towels. We got more buttons. We got, what do we got here? I got a whole, I'm like Santa Claus over here. The Chico Resch Ring. Is this Chico Resch Ring of Honor? No, this is, what am I talking about? Ring of Honor. Chico had his own night pre-Ring of Honor. Chico Resch night pin. Chico Resch. The exclusive Patrick Elias retirement night employee button. These were not given out or sold. These were only given to employees. The Elias retirement night button will be given away. And we got more towels. We got, oh my God, I'm getting caught up in the microphone. Please tell me I didn't knock it out. We have a Raise Hell rally towel. We got another 2025 playoff rally towel. What else? There's crap everywhere. But that's just the beginning of it, guys. There is going to be a ton of items given away. Stay tuned for the details that will be released soon. I'm working on all the details, but I will tell you there will be different ways to win on different platforms. Bear with me one second. So if you want to have the best chance of winning something and increasing your odds of winning, follow your boy everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean subscribe to this YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're not subscribed yet, follow me on Instagram. I just dropped the link in the chat there. And also follow me on the cesspool that is known as Twitter or X, whichever you prefer. That link is also in the chat. But follow me on all of these platforms. There's going to be some things exclusive to each one. There'll be some stuff that will be kind of derived from X. There'll be some from Instagram. But it's all going to be going down live on the show. Some will be trivia. Some will be, trivia about the channel versus team history. There'll be a lot of different ways to win. But stay tuned. The details are coming. I'm still gathering all the stuff. And there's going to be a lot of it. No, Snow. I'll never get rid of all my memorabilia. I'm just looking through stuff that I have some extras of or whatever to do something cool for the community. I thought a giveaway show would be nice. I wanted to do it months ago, and a lot of things happened in my personal life, and I was never able to get it all together. So now I've been kind of slowly putting stuff to the side to do one massive giveaway show. So stay tuned. Amagi says SST will win Timo. Robbie's Bench Boss, give me that clock. It's a Timo bobblehead clock. Brandon, I'm giving it away as a thank you to you guys for supporting this channel and, for all of the good times that we've had together and that we will continue to have. Tasha, hopefully Plot and Brown do well together, but if it's 20 games in and he's dead weight, ship him out. Jax has called him the ultimate rat. He certainly was a pest and a half, and guys loved playing with him, hated playing against him. Amagi says, I need the Elias puck. Jack Marshall was a fun player to watch. Bobby, what's up, Ace? Just tuning in. What did I miss? Also, what do you know about MacEwen? I know nothing about him. He's probably going to play in the minor leagues for the most part. He may see a couple games if the coaching staff feels they need a physical presence, but he's another big guy who could fight. 6'4", 225-ish, and is willing to fight for sure. Richard says it's time for an NJ Devils black bathrobe. The giveaway is going to be a giveaway show, Bobby. The rules are coming soon. But follow me on everything. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. You will have to be a subscriber, I think, to win. And there'll be some stuff on X. There'll be some Twitter, some stuff on Instagram. But it'll all be happening within the context of the live show giveaway. Amagi says, I need that Elias game puck. Yo, Holmes, nobody doing this. SST, I'll give away all one prizes to Travelin. Travelin says, when is the Stadium Series gamer jersey giveaway? Never. Tasha, 50 items. Yeah, maybe, somewhere in that range. 30 to 50 maybe. M Sharp, sweet stuff. Luke, in the next couple of weeks, I'll announce it in a good chunk in advance. I'm still finalizing some of the details here. But I will give everyone a fair notice, I believe. with the details and the day and time and all of that. Obviously, it'll be on a non-game night. Richard, Ace, the other night, one of the great fans asked most underrated Devil of all time, but Kirk Muller gave his all to those teams, averaged 26.7 goals for 7 years of service. Yeah, no, twofold for me. One, Muller was kind of before my time. I certainly appreciate his significance in franchise history, but I'm always going to skew it towards the guy that raised the cup. But yeah, Kirk Muller probably belongs on that list as well. Have you put any more thought into a Running with the Devils Discord? Not really, but we could talk about this in person, Amagi. If we do it, you could be is it an admin or whatever? Clearly, you're going to have to be that. So if you're volunteering for that, I think we could maybe look into this, but you know how I feel about Discord in general. Ryan, just tuned in, Ace. What's your opinion on No More Big Mac? I mean, it is what it is, right? He wasn't going to play a lot. Keith doesn't love his game, and I get it. So, I will miss him. I will remember the good times. He was 7-0 or potentially 6-0-1 in his 7 bouts as a New Jersey Devil, and the main character in the whole 5-on-5 brawl against the Rangers. Legend forever. Michael says, I had that manila-colored Marty poster card piece. Wonder if it's still around. If it got destroyed when the house got flooded during Sandy, have to check now. Yeah, it's an old-school classic. Jay Snow said, you're going to do a giveaway every game? I think you have enough stuff. No, but I'll do some. I'll do random giveaways throughout the season for sure. But this is more for the one big giveaway show that I've been talking about. Jack called him you as a winner. Brandon, is it USA only? I'm hoping Canada. It could be Canada too. I have to check my software that I use for shipping. Shipping stuff's a pain in the ass. Stickfig says, so not only has NJ selected Sunbum Ben Kevin, but ASU also has Jim Dowd's kid. My only 2 fandoms are conflicting. Amagi, love chatting with the regulars, so would just be awesome to chat about Devils hockey outside of live streams for sure. I definitely volunteered to be a moderator. Okay. M. Sharp, Claude Lemieux, a face you'll never forget. That snarky smile. Love me some Claude. Stickfigs, hey, I've been saying Discord and live chat moderation forever. Oh, my apologies, Stickfigs. You're a co-moderator with Amagi for sure. All you young guns. All you young guns. Live chat moderator just being excused to ban SST 17 times. All right. I got some stuff to do, guys. But the giveaway show is going to be pretty cool, and there'll be items spanning tons of years. Tons and tons of years, tons and tons of teams. Anyone got anything else? Anyone have anything else? Damn, my ice. Yeah, the ice melts in these things pretty quick. Anyone? Bueller. I can't see how many likes, but it's probably not enough. Are you guys hitting the thumbs up or what? Can you guys hit the thumbs up? Tasha, we should sign Glendening. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got to be signed. Brandon says, once you learn Discord, you're going to love it. I doubt it. Have you ever had a cocktail at the Rock? Is that a real question? Of course I have. John, do you think if we have another first-round exit, Keefe's job is at risk? No. He had a tragic bottom 6 last year that was of no fault of his own. He could only work with what he had, and he got the shaft last year. I mean, if we were healthy and everything, and then we bombed out in the first round, I still don't think it wouldn't be on Keefe. I don't think. I think he's one of the biggest reasons we made the playoffs last year. Tasha said, I think we should try to let a chance run with 4C. It seems like they want to use him at winger. I thought, because I saw him take faceoffs in the development camp, I thought they might try him at center, but it seems like he's going to be on the wing. So I don't really care where he plays. I just want him in the lineup. Later, Mr. White. Stickfigs, good night, NJ Devils fans. Beat ASU McKenna. Noel says, hit the thumbs up, weirdos. Bobby, if you need a mod for Discord, let me know. Also, check out Chat BCC. I don't know. What is that? Amagi, I've only had one. It was basically just juice, but I was too hammered and high on playoff hockey to care. So I didn't order like any sort of fancy cocktail. The cocktail I ordered was tequila on the rocks with a splash of ginger ale. So Tasha's bottom 6 last season was 100% Fitz's fault. I agree with that. Collect records on piecing. Have a good night, party people. Let's go Devils. Good night. Collect. Later, traveling. Stickfix says Ace is going to hate Discord. That's why it's our job as the young ones to take control of it. Ace just pops in to make appearances. Tasha says, is Chat BCC related to Chat GPT? I don't know what Chat BCC is either. White Russian. Whenever I hear White Russians, I always think of Big Lebowski for sure. Brandon says, I disagree. The amount of Devils talk on there, we will never be able to get off of there. All right, guys, that's it. It's 11 o'clock. I got some shit to do. But keep your eyes peeled. Always new stuff coming. I made a mess over here. I made a mess with the giveaway box. I might have to repack this thing. The giveaway box has gotten crazy. Michael says the cocktails I get at the Rock are fantastic, straight out of my pocket. Wait, Michael, were you the one with what you're saying, the shooters? The plastic shooters? Oh, man. That's pretty funny. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. It's been fun. Hopefully we get no more injuries, and this team goes into Gen Pop shooters. Got to love the Gen Pop shooters. And this team stays healthy, and we have a great season and go on a run. I believe in the squad. Just got to stay healthy, and so far it hasn't been a good start. But all right, that's it, guys. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. All that stuff. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Back tomorrow for the post game live after the Flyers game. That's all I got for now. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. David, Timo's going to have a big season, I think. Big season for Timo. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.